Hey y'all, welcome back to Carrville Creations with Dawn. Today we're going to be making a utensil caddy to go in your kitchen by your stove. To do this, you're going to need a big tin can. You're going to need whatever image you choose. Some paint if you want to paint this. I'm going to paint mine. I'm going to use the tissue paper technique where you print your image onto the tissue paper, and then we're going to decoupage that image after we paint this onto the tin can. I hope you enjoy this, and I'll probably put some little legs on this to make it look high-end. With that being said, let's get to it. All right, guys. To get the paper onto the tissue paper, I'm just going to show you what I did. I use this just to kind of go around the edges right here. You're going to go around just right around the edges right here. And this is reason we're doing this is in order for it to feed through the printer, you have to glue this paper down just around the edges so that it will go smoothly through the printer, okay? So then we're going to turn this over and we're going to neatly glue this down, okay? And then once you get through gluing this down, you're going to take your scissors and just go neatly around the edge of this paper. Because we don't want this paper to get caught up and cause a paper jam in your printer. That is why I'm doing this. And this is basically making faux rice paper. It's really cheap, and it's cheaper than rice paper itself, and you actually get to keep your images and use them for other things if you want to. We'll be right back. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to put your images onto your printer, right? Just like this. And then you're going to close this, and then you're going to take the piece of paper that you put your rice paper on, and ever how your printer prints, every one of them are different. Mine prints like this. You're going to put this up in here, and then you're going to hit copy, if I can figure out how to work my own printer. And then watch. It's going to come out. And because I glued that paper onto that tissue paper, it's going to put my image out. There you go. I am going to go ahead and start painting this. You will not see me the entire time on here painting this because everybody that's watching this, I know that you all can paint. We're using the chalk paint, and I'm using the color as Home Decor Chalk Paint Oatmeal. And all I'm going to do is go in here and put a coat of this paint all over this. And that is just how simple that is. Just like that. All right, I went ahead and got the can painted. I put 2 coats. It took 2 coats. That's going to be the back, so don't worry about that. I could have heated that up and pulled it off, but for sake of time, I'm not doing that today. I'd put 2 coats of the oatmeal chalk paint by Deco Art. And now you're going to see how we did this last time. Remember, we just kind of tore a little piece of this off to get it separated. That way we can get our, you know what, let me just cut this little white right here off anyway, because we're not going to use that, so that I don't tear my pictures where I don't need to. We're going to go around the edges, and this is going to separate that tissue paper from that paper where I glued it, okay? I tried to tear it off there, and it wouldn't want to do right, so. This should get it separated right here, hopefully. Well, I can't get my paper off, y'all. Hold on. Guess I glued it further than I thought. There we go. It's coming now. I had the glue further than I thought I did. Y'all learn from me. I'll take this off of here like this. Ugh. Hold on. All right, there we go. Okay, so we've got this off of here like this. I'm going to go ahead and cut and separate my birds because it's 4 different pictures, okay? Let's go ahead and separate our birds. And you know that I'm going to tear these edges anyway because we don't want that straight edge when we're decoupaging because we want it to look like it's kind of folding in naturally. All right. Okay. Let's move that out of the way. Okay. All right, we're going to tear around. Let's do this big bird first. I like him. He's pretty. Let's take him and let's just kind of tear around this edge right here. And the reason we do this is that when we decoupage, it is going to feather in and blend, which is what you want when you're decoupaging. Now, if you have a water pen, you can use that too to go around these edges. I always seem to forget to get mine out. But I want to leave that little branch that it's sitting on. So let's see. I'll tear around these edges right here. Kind of like the way that looks right there. I'm going to leave this whole thing. And then we're going to bring over this right here. Figure out where we want to put it at. I don't want it on this back. So I think it would be pretty right here. Alright, so we're going to get our decoupage out. Again, I have the matte. I'll get another paintbrush here. Again, I use cheap paintbrushes because I am terrible with my paintbrushes. Like, I do not take care of them like I should. So, alright. And it's because I'm always in a hurry. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and dip into this decoupage right here. And we're going to lather it on here, okay? To get this picture started. I will tell you that you are going to want to seal this whole thing when you're done. Sometimes I don't seal everything, but I really feel like we need to on this. Alright, so let's lay this first little part of this bird picture down right here. See? You're going to dab your fingers a little bit right there to kind of get it started. Now this can is corrugated, so you're going to see those come in there, but I don't mind that on mine. I love the way that it looks. And we're going to tap that down in there, and then you're going to kind of go over the top of this right here, really easy. See how it's going down in there? It's going to look really pretty when we're done. And it may have looked, I don't know, I like the tan color, but you could do this white, and it would blend a little bit better. I like being able to see the difference. So I'm okay with that. Kind of go on here and put all this over here. Let's push it back down. With this being round, you definitely want to take your time because you want to get those corners down over here. Because you want to make sure that it goes around and doesn't stick up anywhere. If that makes sense. There we go. See how he's coming down in there? It looks so cute. Oops. I got a little bit carried away right there. All right, let's go right here and let's put some more decoupage right here, down in here, so that we can lay that down. All right. You're going to kind of tap that in. When we're done, it'll look like it belonged on this can. You'll be able to tell more after the decoupage dries. Oh, I think I ripped it a little bit. That's okay though. Let me dry this really quickly. Put a little heat on it to see if that'll kind of dry it up just a little bit. I will post an after picture too. All right. Okay. We got that picture on there. Let's move around to this next side. We've got 3 other birds. We've got 3 other birds. So let's see, how big is this one? Let's do the smaller one next to this one. So let's go ahead and kind of tear. I'm going to leave this kind of big right here. I'm going to tear just right around the edges, just to kind of make sure it'll feather in. I haven't seen anybody else do this and make the utensil bucket, so I'm kind of excited about that, that I come up with that all on my own and nobody else's. I'm pretty sure somebody's done it before, but I just didn't get this from anybody else. It was my idea. And see how that's torn? It doesn't really matter because tissue paper is very forgiving. I can just kind of lay that down and lap it over and you won't ever, it'll be okay. Okay. Got this one right here. Let's lay this one down right here. This is pretty for spring in my opinion, or it actually can stay out depending on what your home decor is, but it's just pretty for spring, I think. Let's get him right there. Kind of tap him down in there. Get him started. Spread this decoupage out. I put a little bit too much in one spot. Well, I don't know what all that is coming out of there. It's like my paintbrush coming apart. It's because I bought cheap paintbrushes. That's exactly what it was. Go easy. Well, I mean, I buy cheap paintbrushes, but these things are... Okay, I haven't used these before. Let's get some decoupage right under this edge right here. Tap it down. Try not to rub it too hard because this is tissue paper. It will tear on you. But it's also very forgiving. So you just want to be really careful with it. See that tore right there? But that's going to be all right because I can bunch that up and kind of lay it back down. All right, we're going to let this dry for a minute. So we've got this bird. We've got this bird. So now, let's get this other one here. We're going to do the kind of the bigger one again and then the smaller one after this. Kind of see what I'm going for here. All right, so let's tear this one right here. This is the next bigger one. We did a bigger one, a smaller one, a bigger one, and then we're going to do a smaller one. That way it kind of stays cohesive. But it's your project. Whatever you decide, the way you want to do it is the way that you do it. And you can actually make these for each holiday. If you change out your holiday decor in your kitchen, you can make Easter, you can make Christmas, you can make spring, you can make Valentine's. Just have fun creating. All right, so we're going to put this one right here, and then that next one to go around on the other way. All right, let's put some little decoupage right here. Get this one started. Get it started right here, tap it down. Get it down in those grooves where it looks like it belongs. Lift your paper up just a little bit to add your decoupage on down. I'm going to try to go on down, make sure I have it all over it so I can lay it down and leave it. Okay. Pat it down. Yeah, this one's doing good. Just rub a little bit on this end down here. Because we'll seal over this after it dries a little bit more so it don't rip once it seals. All right, we got that one on there, and then we're going to turn this right here, and we're going to put that smaller one, and then we'll have one all the way around. So see this small one right here? We're going to go around this edge. I'm going to do him a little bit closer. I don't want to get rid of this little tail right there, so I'm going to leave that. I like the little log too, so I'm just going to kind of rip just a little bit around the edge right here. And I'll be honest with you, if you like the straight edge, you could cut this out. I just don't want that straight. I like the way that it feathers in like it's supposed to be there. I don't like to have that rough edge around mine, which most crafters don't. But everybody's different. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means we don't like it or we don't want it on there. All right, so we're going to put this one right here. He's really cute too. All right, let's get him right here. Put us some decoupage down here. Okay. I know I have I've seen people make comments and, you know, not all on me, but you know, they just dog people out if they don't like anything. Well, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You just, if you don't like it, do yours a different way. There's, you know, there's lots of different ways to do things, and so everybody has a different taste, you know. My taste may not be someone else's taste, and that is completely okay. It is, you know, you do it the way you like it, the way that you want it to be. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. We're going to kind of go through here and get that in there like that. And then we're going to go back to where we started. This is where we started at. And I'm going to try to see if I can go over this with some decoupage and seal this up now that it's dried a little bit. There it goes. All right, everybody. I hope you like this craft. I'm hoping that you could see how pretty this was. I was going to put legs on the bottom of this, but I got to thinking, I don't want it to be teeter-tottering on my counter, so I did not do that. But I did come up with some good ideas that y'all might like. You could put some cute buttons on around it. You could even put a bead on each side and make it look like little handles and run you a wire over the top if you wanted to make it look like a pail. And I will tell you, I've also made these before to put little mini trees in. I've made smaller cans with mini trees. There is so much things that you can do if you want to upcycle cans. We'll be doing some other stuff with these too. I've got a lot of stuff that I want to show you all, and I'll give you different little tricks of the trade. But this will be in my kitchen. It is beautiful for spring. If you've got any ideas, feel free to email me at carrvillecreations@gmail.com. And I really, really appreciate y'all watching this. And remember that God uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things. Have a great day.